Let's get lifted. Let's get lifted. Let's get lifted. Let's get lifted. Let's get lifted on these ABCs. 1, 2, 3s. Take a look inside. Everything you need is right in front of you. Right in front of you on these ABCs. Hi, my name's Lauren Jones, and you are Amplafii Genius Brillianaires. Would you like to join me in learning today? Because I have some icons I would love to share with you, if you don't mind. All right, let's start. And of course, anything I share with you, you share with your friends, right? We're gonna start with Mary Lou Williams, born May 8th, 1910, passed May 28th, 1981. She was a pianist, a composer, arranger, and educator. Mary Lou Williams grew up in a home where her prodigious natural gifts were recognized and nurtured, and the rich musical landscape beyond, dotted with figures like Ma Rainey and James P. Johnson, provided constant inspiration. Seeing pianist arranger Lovey Austin perform had a particular impact. Williams later recalled Austin playing with her left hand, writing music for her next act with the other, and conducting the band with her head. Although I was just a little baby, I said to myself, I'm going to do that one day. Williams did that and much more. From her earliest professional performances at age 12 through her seminal contributions to the bluesy, driving Kansas City swing style of big band jazz, as a champion of bebop and its early innovators, and as a composer whose works encompassed almost every style of 20th century popular jazz and serious music. Long known as the First Lady of Jazz and described by Duke Ellington as perpetually contemporary, Williams in her later years taught on the faculties of Duke University and the University of Massachusetts. Mary Lou Williams. There she is. All right. Septima Clark, the grandmother of the civil rights movement. Born in 1898 and passed December 15th, 1987 at the age of 89. In 1960, Septima Clark traveled the South recruiting African Americans to participate in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference's citizen education program she headed in McIntosh, Georgia. There, busloads of folk were taught basic literacy to prepare them for voter registration, an idea Clark had pioneered at the Highlander Folk School in the 1950s. I just thought that you couldn't get people to register and vote until you could teach them to write and to read. Clark had campaigned successfully to allow African Americans to teach in the city of Charleston and for equal pay for white and black teachers. But in 1956, after 40 years in the South Carolina school system, she was fired for refusing to give up her membership in the NAACP. She was fired. Clark then commenced her second career through her efforts 897 citizenship schools teaching literacy and voter education. In people's kitchens, in beauty parlors, under trees, they were organized from 1957 to 1970. She was doing that. The grandmother of the civil rights movement, Septima Clark. Marian Anderson, born February 27th, 1897, passed April 8th, 1993. American contralto Marian Anderson, considered by many to be one of the greatest ever, gained her first public renown in 1925 when she appeared as a soloist with the New York Philharmonic. Faced with limited concert opportunities in the United States because of racial discrimination, Anderson spent the next dozen years touring Europe and South America, where she became a major star. After she returned to the United States in the late 1930s, her career flourished on the concert and operatic stages, and she gained numerous honors both as an artist, as an individual whose powerful character was an inspiration to fellow artists and the public alike. Her 1939 concert at the Lincoln Memorial was a signal event in the national consciousness, transforming an ugly racial incident into a mass affirmation of human dignity and equality. Marian Anderson. All right. Althea Gibson, born in 1927 and died in 2003. Althea Gibson was a talented kid with a tennis racket growing up in New York City during World War II. By virtue of her skill and toughness as a competitor, she would eventually rise to the top of her sport, and amidst the changing social climate in the United States, she would become the player who broke the racial barrier in championship tennis. She handled the latter difficult role with both equanimity and the same ripping serve she used to dispatch opponents. A native of South Carolina, Gibson was a star in the Negro Youth Leagues in New York by 1943, and 5 years later, she won the women's title for the first of 5 times. In 1950, for the first of 5 times. In 1950, she became the first African American to play at the U.S. Open, and in 1951 at Wimbledon. Again, in 1950, she became the first African American to play at the U.S. Open, and in 1951 at Wimbledon, the first African American to play at Wimbledon. Thereafter, she honed her skills while working as an athletic instructor and playing team tennis. In 1950, I'm telling these devices to shut up. We are busy. We are busy learning right now. Thank you. In 1956, her game came together, and for the next 3 years, she burned up the tournament circuit, sweeping most of the majors in both 1957 and 1958. Gibson was elected to the National Lawn Tennis Hall of Fame in 1971. All right. And last but certainly not least, Lena Horne, born June 30th, 1970, passed May 9th, 2010. She passed at the age of what? How old was she? Your turn first. All right, for you mathematicians out there, she died at the age of 92. 92. Lena Horne. At 2 years old, a member of the NAACP. At 16, a dancer at the Cotton Club in Harlem, singer and actress Lena Horne has led a remarkable life. Raised by her grandmother, a supporter of African American rights, who urged Horne to hold your head up very straight, look at people, and answer them or question them distinctly. By 18, she was supporting herself as a singer, soon winning Broadway parts. Walter White, head of the NAACP, encouraged her to act in films in order to challenge African American stereotypes. Hollywood cast her in the classics Cabin in the Sky and Stormy Weather, but it was not until 1956 that she won her first speaking role in an integrated film, Meet Me in Las Vegas. In the 1960s, Horne took part in the civil rights movement. When I sang in Mississippi in a church there, my heart just broke. Horne took part in the civil rights movement. When I sang in Mississippi in a church there, my heart just broke, she said in an interview. When I was with my own people, I began to be a better artist and performer. And lots of artists have said that over time, that when you're with your own people, when you're reflecting your people, when you're reflecting the love that you get and receive, that you give and receive from your people to your people, it hones your craft just a little bit more. It sharpens you just a little bit more. So that's what she said, Lena Horne. And as a performer myself, I can I can agree with that sentiment. I have performed on stages with audiences that didn't look like me, and I performed on stages with audiences that did look like me, and with cast members that did look like me. And I like both, but there is something about performing for and with your people that does kind of sharpen your craft all the more. So, Lena Horne, thank you for getting lifted with me on these ABCs. Thank you for getting lifted with me. Okay, I'll see you next time.